Our fellow traders, well, we have made it to the end of October. This is the last week in the month. This month really hasn't been what we wanted it to be. We're a little bit disappointed. Well, I'm a lot of bit disappointed. But these last couple of days, I felt it building in. The volume is still not quite there yet, but it's getting there slowly but surely. We just have to exercise one of those skills that we developed as new traders, as beginning traders, is that patience. Be patient with the market, let it sort itself out, and just be ready to take what it's willing to give us. Today, the SPY, we saw all-time highs in the SPY. I think it's coming back around. We just have to be a little bit patient and let this market continue to come to us. And that kind of leads me to this message that I wanted to give you really quick. I like to give this message 2 or 3 times a year, that the market doesn't know who's supposed to win. It doesn't care whether you have $1 billion or $1,000. If you come in and you exercise your strategy, you execute it without reservation, without hesitation, and you manage your risk, you're going to be fine. Okay, providing you have a viable strategy. Now, obviously, if you don't have a viable strategy, it's not going to work. But if you come in with the right strategy, just trade it without reservation and execute, you're going to be good. You're going to be fine, because it doesn't matter what you have, what you don't have. It just matters how you manage what you do have. All right, so we're in the middle of my wife's spooktacular sale. This is in her honor because she says I don't do anything for Halloween and Dia de los Muertos. So I've got this spooktacular sale that's running now through Dia de los Muertos, which is this Saturday. On the roadmap to success membership is 2 for 1. That means if you subscribe, you get double what the membership it has in it. You get, instead of 6 months, you get a year. Instead of the 6 months one mentor session per month for 6 months, you get 1 per month for 12 months. So you get double it. So those of you that like to figure stuff up on your calculator, you will see this is an incredible deal. For less than $21 a month, you get this special. You get access to the community, all of the live classes, all of the recordings of the classes, everything. The mentoring. You don't have to pay for anything for a year. The lifetime membership is half price. So that's priceless. You can't really factor that in, especially if I live 20 more years, which I expect to live 40 more. But if let's just say 20 more years, it's priceless. You can't even put a price tag on it or add a value to it. So, the market's not going anywhere, and as long as the market's here, I'm going to be here. So there's no scenario that I see where there will not be a stock market in the United States. No scenario. And we make money with the market going up, and we make even more money when it's going down. So it doesn't matter where it goes, just as long as it moves. The only time we don't make a whole lot of money is when it's trading sideways. And that's when it gets a little frustrating, but if we do what we're supposed to do on the upswings and the downswings, we'll be riding on our profits during the sideways action. So these will be running. Now, if I fill up, I only have so many slots. I have to keep it small so I can be there for you guys when you need it. If you have a bad day and you need a session, I've made it to where I have time available every day. So I'm here. I'm just got to take advantage. I may not be talking because I'm not just going to talk to be saying stuff, but I will be here if you need me. Tomorrow, come check us out. We're having our live stream here on YouTube. You get to see exactly what we do every day in chat. I trade my small account live. I stream it live every day in chat, so you guys can see I'm teaching it. I'm not just talking about it. I am being about it. Yes, I have other accounts that I do trade, but it makes no sense to stream those when you don't know how to trade yet. You have to learn how to trade. You have to learn how to manage your positions. You have to learn how to grow your account. I don't care if you start with $50,000. If you don't know how to trade and grow your account, you're going to lose it all. So it doesn't matter how much money you have. You still need to start out small. You still need to grow and learn and understand what it takes to grow your account. Then once you grow it, then you can spread out and do different things and have multiple streams of revenue. So it is a process. It's like it'll be like me giving you a calculus class and you've never had algebra or geometry. But I expect you to be successful in this class, and you have none of the fundamental skills that you need to be successful. That's why you got to learn the fundamentals. You got to learn the fundamental strategies. You got to learn how to execute them. You have to learn those fundamental skills, because if you don't, you will not be successful. And learning how to follow somebody is not a fundamental skill. It's a process that will make you broke. Some may go broke quicker than others, but if you don't understand and put in the work, if you're just trying to follow on the coattails of somebody else, it's not going to happen. I can't make a whole lot of guarantees in this industry, but I can guarantee that. So come check us out. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll be notified the minute I go live. But 8:30 tomorrow morning. All right, so let's take a look at what we did today. TIF was on our watch. I did not trade it because I didn't like the price action coming in. Look at the small candles. It just wasn't much there. The deviation bands were tight. It didn't really give us a good trading range. So I chose not to really engage in it. And it just wasn't giving up much. And it was just caught up in this tight window here. So it broke below the 5-minute opening range a little bit. Then it broke above it, but not much. It didn't really do much. So I didn't trade it. I kind of pushed that off to the side. SPOT was my first choice on the opening range breakout. Excuse me. You could see the candle that we had. A really nice candle. Nice bottom and tail here. Held this support, this 131 daily level. And we pushed over the pre-market high. And so the only thing bad about this was it was a little spready, but it was manageable. It wasn't so bad. Where I messed up was I did not give it enough room. Now, you guys know I take the ATR, the previous 6 candles, to factor in how much room I need to give the trade, right? So it was around $1.60 some cents. I went to 175. What I didn't take into consideration was the spread. The spread on this was around 30 cents. I'm thinking, in my mind, it's like 10 cents around there that I normally trade, but it wasn't. It was like 30 cents. It was a big spread. And what I didn't fail to do was take that 30 cents and add it to the 170. I should have had a $2 stop. Had I put in a $2 stop, I'd have been fine. Wouldn't have had any issues with this. I would have made some money on it. Yeah, it would have chopped up a little bit, but this is the market. Like I said at the beginning, no two trades are going to look alike. They're not going to react alike. So you're going to have to understand and feel this trade and know what you need to do. Be patient. Wait till it hits its targets. 136 was my first target, and it's actually hit it, worked over it, even worked through the 200. It even went my final target would have been up here around 140.30. It even went to the next target above it. This would have been a really, really nice trade if I had stayed engaged in it. But there were some that did stay engaged, and they did make some good money on this trade. But that was what happened to me. I did not factor in that extra spread, and that's what bit me. Now, I didn't re-engage this. My MO. I typically like to stay engaged. But what I did was I was watching ROKU as well. It was another stock on my watch. And it made a nice move. Like, it put in a nice first 5-minute candle. And then here was a 5-minute opening range breakout. Really nice move. And so I waited until I could get in right here close to this level. Because I felt this level would hold with all of the support up under it. The 20 was close, the VWAP was close. The 9 was close, the VWAP was close. I felt I could do it, but if I lost this level, I would take it off. But we made a nice move up to my first target and ended up pulling back. And I was stopping out here. Here's what happened. I think my stop still had 100 shares on it. And so when I put my stop in, it didn't have 50, it still had 100. So what it did, I sold the 50 shares that I had left, and then it put me short 50 shares. So I was actually short 50 shares, and I kind of held it for a minute to see if we were going to sell through this, or if we held, I could flip it back long. So I just put in, you can see here, I sold 50 at 141.50, and then when it pulled back, this was a 100 share order, and I ended up being short 50 shares. So when I covered it, I just bought 150 shares, covered the 50 short, and then I was long again. And so I was just trading the continuation. This is just a trend continuation trade. And I hit a couple of targets here. It pulled back. And once we hit the bounce, you can see I added back. I was down to 25 shares. I added 75. I was back in 100 shares. And I took half off up here. Now my goal here was 144, but we couldn't get there. It was just struggling. So I ended up taking it off here. It did bounce and kind of pushed through it a little bit, but it failed. And we came back, ended up taking me out at break even. Now this was break even because I still had the small position from over here. So when I added back, my average was below where I added. So that's why it looks like I got out later than where I added, but this was practically break even. Now, I know you're probably asking, Ed, you took it off right on the 9. Why didn't you let it test it? Well, I have to stick to my plan. I had to stick to it, break even. I could not let this thing take me negative. And ROKU. this thing could turn on a dime if it wanted to. And I didn't want to give back all the money that I made. Now, I don't know if I had gotten out of the hole. I don't know if I was green yet or not, but I didn't want to give anything back. And I always knew that if we bounced, I could get back in. And that's exactly what I did. Got back in on the bounce, right above the high of this candle, and made a nice move up. All I was sitting back doing was taking profit. Bam. And then took another piece off here. I probably should have sold all of it, but I was looking for 149, potentially 150, and a pullback I would have added, but we didn't hold here. I was going to add back full size. We ended up selling through and stopping me out. And then I bought here looking for the late day move up to see if we would get the 150. We didn't. But I'm actually still, I took half off at 3, but I'm still at 3:30, but I'm still in a piece of this. I'm waiting, and I'm probably going to take it off. I was waiting to see if we would make a late run up. Now, sometimes ROKU does run up 3 or 4 points after the close. But I had to be in at 50 shares because of the 2-to-1 margin deal. And so I had to take half off. So I'm only up maybe $10 over this. I may be around 225. But this is what I've got locked in so far, 214.56. I'm not going to go negative on it. There's no way I can go negative on it. So worst case scenario, it'll be around 225ish or so, but I'll update that tomorrow on tomorrow's recap. But just holding it. I'm not going to hold it overnight. If it doesn't get there by 6, or it just looks like it's just not doing anything, I'll just kill it and just take what we got and go home. But all I did was take what the market gave me today. We had a dance. I danced with it. The only hiccup was a mistake I made here. But we danced beautifully together. Beautifully together. Whenever I could dance, me and ROKU can get on in the same rhythm. We danced beautifully together. I think we could win Dancing with the Stars if we went on. But man, when we're not together, oh, it's ugly. But thankfully, we knocked this out today. We starting out the week, pretty good. It's not bad for a small account. Not bad trading 100 shares. I started out the day down $176.80. That was the $1.75 range I gave it. And it didn't work. But solid comeback on ROKU. So that's why we don't quit on the day. We don't walk away. I don't get upset and start revenge trading and all this other crazy stuff. It's about staying consistent, keeping your head on your shoulders and knowing when to attack and when not to attack. Those are the lessons that I want to teach you guys. Those are the lessons. And those are the lessons that's going to help you grow your account, make some money, and allow you to do the things in life that you want to do. That's what it's all about. So you guys have a great night. And don't forget about the live stream tomorrow. Don't forget about the sales that we have. Really simple sales. So take advantage of it. If you're not a member, you want to come check and see what we got going on. Also, if you are a member and you get another Roadmap to Success membership, you can just add it to the end of what you got. It won't overlap. So it'll just come in on the end of it. All right, so that's going to do it for me. Y'all guys be safe, and I will see you in the morning.